Hi dudes, I'm Brooke, and today I'm going back to my roots. Not these. I know I need to dye my hair. Give me a second. I will. I usually do it every 3 weeks, but I'm going on a trip soon, so I want it to be like as soon as possible before the trip. But I digress. Not those roots. I'm going back to Am I the Asshole? And today, I'm going to be deciding whether or not these strangers on the internet are or maybe not. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, the first one is titled, Am I the asshole for not listening to my wife and eating the wrong cookie? Already, I can tell you, yes. I don't have to hear the rest of it. Yes. It's probably not about the cookie. Yes. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and I'll read the rest. Let's see where this goes. I worked a 10-hour shift yesterday and had little to eat but bubblegum and some cheap hot chocolate. Whose fucking fault is that? Eat. Eat something. Anyway, I came home to a voice message whereas my wife had picked up a cookie for me from the local bakery and another specific cookie for our young daughter, which she could have when she came home from school. Very wrong use of whereas, but we'll keep chugging along. Overjoyed, partially. Bro, just write normal. Overjoyed, partially because I was hungry and partially because my wife and I had been at odds for a bit, and I thought perhaps this was an olive branch of sorts. I looked into the cookie box. One of the 2 cookies inside was definitely the one for my daughter due to its description, so I ate the other one. It wasn't quite what she had said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky. A few hours later, my wife pours herself a glass of milk after dinner and goes into the cookie box. She mutters something under her breath, pours her milk back into the jug, ew, and flops down on the couch. I ask her what's the matter, and she informs me that I never listen and I ate her cookie. It's a funny euphemism to be mad about. I told her that I had only eaten the other cookie in the box that wasn't our daughter's, and my wife let me know that my cookie was separate in a bag under the cookie box, and that I should have listened better, and that she wasn't surprised. Yeah, he sounds like he fucking does this all the time. She wasn't even fucking surprised. I asked her what kind of cookie I had eaten, and told her I'd go buy her another one. That doesn't do anything for her right now. She probably all day was like, I can't wait to go get that fucking cookie. Like, if she's anything like me, it's like that fucking treat that you've gotten for yourself is like something you think about all day. And then you finally go to have it and it's gone. It's like, oh, I could kill you. Oh my God. Especially because he has the nerve to think that this was an olive branch for him instead of like, she probably just wanted a cookie for herself and got one for her daughter as well. And was like, obviously, I'm gonna be nice and get one for my husband as well, because the whole family's getting one. But he was like, oh, she's wronged me so much that I deserve an olive branch from her. Like, anyway. I told her I'd go buy another one. She refused to tell me and merely repeated that I should have known that it wasn't my cookie based on her description. Yeah, the cookie I ate was white and had some brown icing on it. Apparently, she had bought me some sort of toffee chocolate chip cookie. Am I the asshole for not paying attention and eating the wrong cookie, or is she blowing this out of proportion?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Am I the asshole for not listening to my wife at all and removing whatever joy she has in life? What the fuck do you think, fucking loser? Edit. Since it's come up a few times, I thought I'd add a bit of information. Yes, I do have a hard time paying attention. I have ADHD and I'm working on it. It doesn't seem like you are. I have OCPD and I'm not going around bossing people around and making sure people do things the exact way I want them because in my brain, I would love that. But that's not how life works. You can't just run around being a wrecking ball in your relationships and then be like, but I have XYZ disorder. Like, yes, your mental illness is not your fault, but it is your responsibility, unfortunately. And I say that as someone with a diagnosed personality disorder that just about runs every aspect of my life. He goes on. Yes, not eating all day is my fault. It was 2 days before payday, we had nothing in the house viable for me to take, and I had $1 worth of change in my cup holder, plus a pack of gum. I did what I could. But she can afford to buy cookies from a bakery without you freaking out? I'm certain you could have, like, DoorDashed something, like, if that's the case. No, she didn't mention that my cookie was separate. She told me my cookie was in our bread bag, which is a bag where we keep bread and other things we want to keep bugs and mice out of. She described the cookie as a toffee chocolate chip cookie. I looked in the bag, found the box from the bakery, and it had 2 cookies in it. One of them was decorated like the night sky, which is what she said she had purchased for our daughter. That was the only visible cookie. No, I can't prove this unless someone can instruct me on how to download voice messages from Messenger and post them here. Another thing is, I don't think he's a reliable narrator on whether she informed him correctly on where to find the cookie and what type of cookie it was and everything like that. But also, if this is how he's going to try and make himself sound good for Reddit, then, like, he sucks. Because, like, it's gotta be worse than he's even saying, because he's the one trying to sound good. You know what I mean? Like, this is him painting himself out to be the victim. So, like, I would love to hear the wife's story. Obviously, all of Reddit was quick to call him an asshole. The top comment on this one is, "This does not sound like it's a cookie problem. This sounds more like it's a general problem with you not listening." Bingo. And then they quote him saying, "It wasn't quite what she had said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky." And then they say, "If she gave you a description detailed enough to feel like the cookie you were eating wasn't the one she described, you listened enough, you just did not give a fuck. You realized something was off and just shrugged it off because it was the path of least work for you. So you're the asshole because you did listen enough, you just did not care at all." That is so true. He knew enough to know that wasn't the correct cookie. I am the person who would be like the one that's like, oh, this is here and this is here, because of just the way I am overly managerial about things in my life due to my personality disorder and just my type A personality in general. And because of that, if my husband is in this situation, he would call me and be like, "Hey, I know you said that the daughter's cookie looks like this, but that mine looks like this." Like, he would just double check. Like, just double check. If you don't know, who cares? Would it be annoying that he didn't listen the first time in her situation? I'm sure. Yes. My husband, I would be like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." You know, like, it's because we don't have what's likely a long-standing issue of this. But someone else said, "It sounds like OP has a long-standing habit of listening but not doing what he said or cutting corners. Wouldn't part of the wife's message be where his cookie was? He just heard cookie and was hungry and grabbed what was in the fridge." So true. Someone else said, "You're the asshole. Dude, this isn't about the cookie. If your wife wasn't surprised that you didn't listen, one of two is probably a pattern. Either you don't listen often, or you do listen but you ignore her and do what you want. If you knew enough about the cookie to know it wasn't what she described, she gave a good description, meaning she probably also included where exactly the cookie was. By the way, as someone who's worked shifts longer than 10 hours, it's possible to figure out a way to eat something, even if it's just a snack or two. Figure out how to carve out 5 minutes to eat a granola bar or something a couple times during the day. Not eating is on you." Very true. Okay. Ugh. The fuck is happening to me? Bro. My hair was hanging down, like, in front of my face, but between my eyes where I couldn't actually see it. That was crazy. Okay. Next story is, "Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to suck it up around my clown figurines?" Ooh. Me, 26 male, and my girlfriend, 24 female, have been dating for 2 years. Since we started dating, she's known that I love clowns. I have several porcelain clowns displayed around my house on the walls, hung from the ceiling on little swings and on shelves. I adore these weird little creatures. I feel like I'd get along well with him. Well, last week I bought 2 Venetian masks from the thrift store, and they're in great condition. I got them for a decent price, too. She hates them. She said they're creepy and they give her bad vibes, whatever that means. I told her that I would take down the masks when she's staying the night, but I'm not getting rid of them. She told me that was fine. Yesterday she got up and told me that we needed to talk. She told me that she's sick of seeing my weird decorations and clown toys everywhere, that they're ugly and they creep her out. I asked her where this was all coming from because she's never mentioned my clowns before, and she said me bringing those ugly fucking masks into our home was her last straw, and my obsession with clowns was charming before, but now it's just disturbing. I told her that I would take down the masks when she was over, but 1, this isn't our home, it's my apartment. And 2, she's known about the clowns for years, and to try to stop me from decorating my place how I please is controlling. She told me either get rid of some of them or we're done. I told her just to suck it up while she's here. If she can't, then I'll come to her place every week. She didn't like that answer and called me a child before leaving. I texted her to apologize for telling her to suck it up about the clowns, but she hasn't responded to me. So am I the asshole for telling her to suck it up about my clown figurines? How are you gonna just decide after 2 years that you absolutely hate something that is a huge part of your partner's life? Like, if my husband woke up one day and was like, "You know what, fuck it, take down all the horror stuff. I don't like horror anymore. Like, I don't like that you like horror." I'd be like, suck my ass? Who fucking cares? It's my life. And, like, we live together, obviously. So this is even more controlling. He does have some edits to it, so I'll read those. But before I read them, it seems like it could be, like, one of 2 things. 1, it was, like, a power move on her part to see, like, if you really love me, you'll take down the clown stuff. And then when he didn't, she was like, what the hell? You know, like, it was, like, a test. Or 2, she is, like, soft launching a breakup and trying to get him to break up with her. I don't know. He has an edit for us. He says, I wanted to clear up some things I saw in the comments. I had a small collection started by my grandparents when I was a baby. That's where I got my first swing jester. The collection has grown in the last 2 years to expand to commons decor and not just dolls. For the update, she saw the post, she read the comments, and called me today. She wasn't too happy about being called the asshole, but apologized for being controlling. Turns out she wanted to see if I'd get rid of my collection if it meant keeping her. I knew it. Like it was some relationship test. No, she really did hate the Venetian masks and didn't like that they were hanging above my bed. I told her that if it came down between her needing me to get rid of them / sell them for expenses, then I would of course do that. But I'm not just going to get rid of my collection because someone says so. She asked if we could move on from this, and I told her no. That I don't like that she tried to test my love by asking me to get rid of my collection. She left. We're officially broken up now. On the bright side, I can fill my house with more clown dolls. I even found a music box one online that I might get. Thank you everyone for helping me figure out that I wasn't in the wrong. And to those saying I'm a serial killer for owning clowns, I've read quite a few comments from people collecting dead things, so I think I'm in the clear on that. That is so weird to try and test your partner like that, especially after 2 years. It's like, what was going on that she felt the need to test him about that? Or did she wake up one day and decide that she hated the clowns? Did she just wake up and get the ick from it? Which is not okay. You can't just put your person that you supposedly love in a box of what you want them to be. That's not fair to them at all. Especially because he said that she mentioned something about oh, it was charming before and now it's just creepy. Why isn't it charming anymore? Because you thought he'd grow out of it? You guys are in your late 20s? How old are they? 26 and 24? So I guess there's still time to grow out of things, but still it's not like he's 12, It's just a weird expectation to put on somebody to try to get them to dull a piece of themselves, especially something so unique. It's such a cool collection to have, in my opinion, that if you're not interested in that, find some frat boy at a bar, it's just weird. And of course, everybody did vote this person not the asshole, and the top comment is not the asshole. As someone who isn't into clowns but loves Venetian masks, I can understand being creeped out by some of them. However, her turning this on your entire interest for clowns that you've had your whole relationship makes her the asshole. Also, if she's giving you ultimatums on how you decorate your own space based on your own interest, she's not the one. There will be someone who will appreciate your collection, if not add to it themselves. And then OP says, that's the crazy thing. She's bought me little clowns before. She found a print of 2 clowns kissing at an art fest that she went to and picked it up for me. That is so weird. It really is. It really is bizarre. It really is bizarre and just cruel. It's a really mean thing to do to somebody, to just give them an ultimatum that that they can't do, and then to be I was just kidding, it was just a test. Why? For what reason? Maybe she did just want to break up and didn't know how to, but grow up. Alright guys, this will be a short one. I'll go ahead and end it right there. Don't forget to murder the subscribe button and beat the shit out of the like button, and if you're feeling crazy, you can give an undoable ultimatum to the bell. And I'll see you very soon with another video.